Hello, everyone, again, and welcome to the Vinyl Community Guncles, the Christmas edition this time. Happy holidays!
Ho, ho,
Merry
ho.
Christmas, season's greetings.
Holidays.
I'm Robert Fitton, along with Richard from Calvin Wazoo, Mike from Hub Tunes, and Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Welcome, everyone. We have got a contest still going on that we'll talk about. We've got a few entries for that. We'll talk about that later. If you're not familiar with how to enter the contest, you can win a $40 Amazon gift card. And just don't order the Rolling Stones mono box set.
Right,
I did.
Tragic stories. Did you not get yours either?
No, I got canceled, and that's fine.
They think that people are saying it was a fake thing just to get people to go to Amazon or something because nobody is getting it for that price.
Nobody goes to Amazon.
Yeah,
they don't need that kind of pub.
So
whatever.
We'll talk about some of the. We'll talk about the contest and how you can enter that. We've also, obviously, it's a Christmas episode. We'll talk about all kinds of Christmas albums and Christmas music and Christmas things. Mike is very excited. Favorite thing of the year is Christmas music.
If I put my glasses down like this,
you're Santa Claus.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's just wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And we've got a brand new feature that we're stealing from As It Should Be, the channel.
As it should be.
Only steal from the best, where we pick a year out of the hat, and that year we'll do our, it's called Tops and Bottoms, and we'll do our tops from the year and our bottoms from the year, to 5 of each, and it can be, and we can each do our own thing. It can be singles, it can be albums, it can be concerts we saw, it can be music videos, it can be any genre of music, so it'll be kind of all over the place. So that part is our own. The top. So we do have our own little
As
thing
it
on
should be.
As
Yeah.
it
Wow. Well done, Richard.
We'll also review Tracy Chapman's debut album as suggested by Richard, but it is coming up on the big day, Christmas, so we're going to talk about Mike's favorite subject, Christmas music.
He love it. So big.
Would Mike like to start this and show something from his collection?
Yes, I'm gonna show something from my collection, and then something from
just hold your hands out like this, and I'll edit something in.
I'll show my music, and then I'm gonna go get more wine. I do actually own a Christmas record.
And it's not Charlie Brown?
It's not Charlie Brown. It's Duke Pearson's Merry Old Soul. He is a wonderful jazz musician. He's got some great songs on here. This is a Blue Note. He was on Blue Note for a while, and really, really nice, easy listening jazz Christmas record. If you like that kind of stuff, I don't. It's okay. I mean, it's fun. I very seldom play it. So then when you guys told me we were going to do this, because I know you three have like 50 records each. I went to Corey's record collection. He has a little small collection, and he loves Christmas music. And so I was like, he's got to have something. I got to have something to show. So yes, he does. He has Engelbert Humperdinck's.
Christmas now that's one to look up.
Mariah Carey.
Christmas. Yeah, look at
time.
Look at his sweater.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, this is he does Silent Night, White Christmas, A Night to Remember, Silver Bells, which actually is a pretty decent Christmas song. Yeah, and then there's just a whole bunch of. Well, and then the second side. The second side is Sing Along Time, Carol Time, Home Time, and Jingle Bell Time. And the album is called Christmas Time.
Darn, that's
amazing.
Time Like the Spice.
Right.
And I did not listen to that. And he had one other Christmas record from a guy who loves Christmas music. He had one other one. This is Happy Holidays Volume 16. From the good folks at True Value.
Oh, True Value.
Oh, yeah.
They had some
good stuff. It's an RCA done thing. I actually put this on this afternoon. There's an Ella Fitzgerald sleigh ride that is absolutely spectacular. She's the best. There's some Perry Como, Dottie West, Roger Whittaker. You can't have a Christmas album without Roger Whittaker.
Shit.
I got something about that fucker coming up. He's bullshit.
So, Happy Holidays, Volume 16.
Burl Lives too.
Yeah.
The good folks at True Value.
You would always have though. They have several. I have a Firestone one. You know, Merry Christmas from Firestone. There's a, you know,
My
Sears
mother
had them.
had one of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
Two Avon. My mother was an Avon lady as a side job. She had multiple jobs at the same time. And yeah, I've got a couple of the Avon ones that are real. Actually, the Avon ones are really good. I mean, they're RCA like that, and they're the RCA are like Elvis is on there, and you know.
This is better than I thought it was, and it came out in '81, and it's in.
Have we made a convert?
It sounds great. It really, yeah. No, we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, no, it sounds great. He took
Just
really good.
Get some bourbon and eggnog, you know, when you listen to him.
I might go get some bourbon.
Right. Yeah. Do shots or something.
Dottie,
a lot of the I noticed a lot of the Christmas country ones are, you know, like this Kenny Rogers one. They all got alcohol. They're all like drinking.
Oh yeah.
He's got a bottle of champagne. He's ready to go.
Is that the one with Kentucky Christmas or whatever on it?
No, no Kentucky. No. I just literally just listened to this. This is my first Christmas album of the year. Or not actually. No, I take that back. It's the first one I listened to with Terry. I listened to Christmas stuff putting up the tree. But this is the one where, you know, like Hard Candy Christmas is not a Christmas song. This is the one where he tries to make one of the, I don't know where this started, but suddenly My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music is a Christmas song. It's like, that's not a Christmas song.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of songs that are like that. They, for some reason, get hooked into the Christmas music genre. And, you know, I suppose that's fine. It's kind of like how Die Hard got pulled into the whole Christmas movie.
Oh, don't even get us started. That's definitely a Christmas movie.
But what boss is going to make you go to a party on Christmas Eve?
Oh, I know some. I'm sure of it. Just out of spite. Radio bosses? AAA personalities. You've heard of A personalities. Type A's. Ever work with a AAA? That's what.
Well, I work with general managers at TV stations.
Oh my God, I forgot. Yeah, TV's like worse because they're all about appearance. Oh wow, that can't be easy. And you guys have the Christmas parties like I've had, you know, where every year it's a little less. Like I remember I started off in radio. You know, I've only worked for like 3 different companies, but when I started off. In the mid-'90s, we were going to elegant places where the guy greeted you at the door in white gloves and tails. You know, I mean, just super, like, posh. And then we got down to, we're going to open the break room and everybody meet in there. That's every year, a little less, a little less, a little less. It's like...
I've never had that royal treatment. Nope, not for...
that was only a couple of years. In Springfield, there was a place called First Night, and it was a really elegant, you know, ballroom type thing. And then now it's, you know, we're going to open the break room. Now I don't even think it happens anymore at all. But you know, last Christmas parties were like, you know, we're going to meet in the break room.
I had a holiday lunch with my boss yesterday. We went to Wendy's.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice!
We used to do the whole karaoke thing and break out the. Oh my God, it used to be a lot of fun. Yeah, we had this. Open bar until we had this stupid part-time employee that wasn't even anybody. Decided to go ahead. I'm not a big wine person. I don't know a lot about wine, but there's this thing apparently called port wine that's like $85 a bottle or I don't know, maybe 120. But I don't remember what. It was expensive. This dude goes and orders like 2 bottles of it, and then goes around like he's the man pouring it for everybody. He's like, open bar, open. I'm like. Everybody's telling him to stop it, dude. You're going to ruin it for everybody. And sure enough, we had one of those general managers just like, one bad apple, you know, so no more open bars.
It does spoil the whole bunch.
We all got him fired. It's ended up.
Oh,
you know, fuck with us, fuck with our Christmas party like that. Anyway, anybody else got any? I've got plenty.
I've got plenty too. So keep it moving.
With Mickey Gilley.
I don't have very much. I don't think I have any really country Christmas records, and I really want to get some.
He does the thing on here where he takes one of his more popular songs. It's called "Don't the Girls All Get Prettier at Closing Time," and this is "Don't the Girls All Get Prettier at Christmas Time."
Oh, how lovely!
Well, isn't that so wholesome?
So taking your own hit song and making it a Christmas song. Here's an example of you know what radio uses. This is I don't know if this is color or not. Yeah, this is
nice cover.
Yeah, it's black. So yeah, it's just season's greetings. You play these, and it's all the people saying "Merry Christmas." Alice Cooper, Cheap Trick, Greg Allman's on here, Living Color, REO Speedwagon, you know, Survivor, Till Tuesday. They're on here giving like a minute and a half. Ozzy Osbourne. giving minute-and-a-half long Christmas greetings. So this is where, you know, when you hear radio stations, hey, it's Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, this is Kevin DeBro from Quite Right. Hi, it's Amy Mann from Till Tuesday.
Gotcha.
This is they're not in the studio. This is where they'll
we knew they weren't in the studio.
And then they'll take the one that was in the studio and make that one the last one. Hey, this is Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon. Merry Christmas from K-Rock, or, you know, whatever. So it makes it all sound like they were...
Oh, they were.
Radio's tricky.
Your Amy Mann impersonation is spot on.
I thought she was in the room.
It's exactly like I thought.
Oh, Marshall McLuhan, casual viewing.
Anyone else? Are we taking turns?
I start my Christmas holiday season, although I'm kind of bah humbug lately. But I have two albums that I have to listen to. Like so the very first one I always play is from 1970 something, 1976. This is the Statler Brothers Christmas Card, and Statler Brothers was my mother's favorite, and this was a staple in our home, and I start my holiday season every year listening to this because it makes me think of her.
It was the potato record for Christmas.
Yep. Potato record, what?
Because it's a staple.
Oh.
It's the Bostish.
Okay, now you gotta stop.
Yeah, I'm just so confused. But anyway, remember, I'm not very bright. So, yes, and this is my sealed copy. I love it so much I have an opened and a sealed. And speaking of open and sealed, the second record that always plays immediately after the Statler Brothers, and then I just listen to whatever the fuck I want to listen to. And that would be, of course, Kenny and Dolly's Once Upon a Christmas. This is my sealed copy of this with the hype sticker saying that we got to watch the holiday special on December 2nd and not the stupid edited versions, the way the album is supposed to be. And yeah, those are the first
the current CD is, what does it have? All the Kenny Rogers songs are gone.
All the Kenny Rogers songs are gone. And then it's got Hard Candy Christmas on it.
And that was back when Dolly Parton used to make good Christmas specials, not like that one from this year. Wow.
Oh my! Don't get me started on that one.
That Magic Christmas Mountain. Yikes.
She made. I didn't see that.
She had a Christmas. Okay, and can I? Okay, let's for a second get started on that because. I'm sorry. Were you not like in the Willie Nelson part? I was worried. I was like, the man is going to die at any moment. He's like, what the hell? And then
he's going to live forever.
Yeah, he's like Keith Richards.
It was just. Well, he's almost. I think Willie's almost 90.
Yeah, he's almost 90. Man.
Yeah, it just. I was.
Keith was only 79.
I was worried for his safety.
But spoiler alert, he was sort of dead. He was like an angel or something. Right?
Yeah, he was sort of an angel, but you know, he's still here. He's not dead yet. But yeah, it was horrible. It was just. Awful.
But I absolutely love A Smoky Mountain Christmas, and that's got an edited version. The movie's got an edited version too, where they cut a lot of the John Ritter stuff out. John Ritter as the judge,
so
and what's her name from Three's Company? I can't remember the woman's name, but she was the evil witch or whatever.
Joyce DeWitt?
Oh yeah,
no, she was a side character. Yeah, she was the one that always thought that Jack was sexy.
What was her name? Yeah, she just passed away a couple years ago, I think.
But what a great TV movie!
Yeah, she was funny.
It's so good. And I'd like to spend Christmas with Santa this year. That's a great song that's on that movie. That finally is on her expanded Holly Dolly Christmas that came out a couple years ago, which is also terrible. But I want to get the deluxe edition because it has that bonus disc that has a whole bunch of like older stuff of hers that has never been like released. But I haven't got it yet, and I didn't even bother bringing that one out because it's garbage. The Holly Dolly.
Wow.
I I look at it this way. I have been listening to her for 44 years, and I feel like I have the right to say it's garbage. Not that I necessarily have a right, but like. I'm a fan. And even if it's garbage, I'm gonna buy it. So it's
you have a high standard.
Yeah, I'm like, I was so excited about that. I was like, because her second Christmas record, Home for Christmas, also very good. This Christmas special, really good. This, Holly Dolly garbage crap. Of course, last Christmas I gave you my heart. And you can either look at yours,
day,
or you can look at Andrew.
Or yeah, and he passed away
George.
on Christmas. That was crazy.
I know. George, Andrew, George, Andrew, George, Andrew. So there you are.
Andrew.
That's Russ. Oh, you know, he had a silver record.
I'm Team Andrew all the way.
Wow.
Which is really good. What?
All right, it's Richard's turn to show a few.
Well, I love Christmas music. I mean, I love Christmas music. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love old style, old fashioned Christmas music. I love the way, you know, contemporary artists reinterpret traditional songs. Yeah, there's some dogs out there that I don't particularly care for. You know, one of the most of mine is on CD, but the series a very special Christmas that's got the what's his name? Keith Haring art on the front. Yeah. I have 3 of these. These are, I suppose, if I went into Discogs, I could find them all. But yeah, they don't. It's always the same ones I see in the store. Number 1, number 3, and number 5. You know, I'm like, okay, like how about 2 and 4? You know, where the hell are those? But one of the first records that I will put on for the season is, I don't own a copy of it. I have a burned copy of it, but it's the Jethro Tull Christmas album. And what it is, it's a compilation of material from all, you know, various different Jethro Tull albums. But I love it because it's a really good base, you know, to keep me, remember, you know, what, seriously, the cynicism in this is really what grounds me and keeps me focused on, you know, the what is Christmas about? And not even from a Christian perspective, but, you know, because of the, you know, the Saturnalia and the changing of the seasons and all that kind of thing. It was a coming together of people, you know, during a time, at least European people coming together during a time, you know, when it was dark and cold, and, you know, what else did they have to do but party and cohabitate? So that's what I really like about the Jethro Tull Christmas album.
So it's songs from their albums,
right? So you can only buy it on CD. It was only released on CD, but a lot of these songs are individually on different Jethro Tull albums. So
really,
yeah, except for a couple. They do a rendition of "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen," but then there's a song like Jack Frost and the Hooded Crow, and a Christmas song which actually comes from what's that one that was like a couple records with like the red cover? I can't remember because I haven't listened to Jethro Tull albums in quite a long time. But the other thing I like about Christmas music is the orchestral and the choral music. And today I was listening to this. This is the Johann Sebastian Bach Weihnacht Oratorio.
Bless you.
How's that martini?
Yeah, right.
Fröhlich Weihnachtsabend.
So this is wonderful music. It's choral music. It's beautiful with organs. It's religious music, but, you know, and I'm not a religious person. Very contrary to that. But I love religious music around the Christmas cycle because of, I mean, Bach and others have done some really beautiful pieces. And I love listening to them. I love listening to the choral voices, you know, the choirs singing. It's just, I just love that shit. But then, you know, every once in a while, you know, whenever I'm listening to my music, Christmas music, I pull out that Jethro Tull. And I put that to put me back into my proper perspective. If you haven't listened to the songs on the Jethro Tull Christmas album, you know, look it up and listen to them. It's quite a good mix.
I'll check that out.
So this is kind of a classic one too. This is,
this
jerk off. I can't stand this guy. He's a horrible person, or was anyway. But yeah, this was
my
the one
mother
a lot of
told
people
me that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She, you know, because he was doing all these Christmas specials and everything, and then she started just kind of offhand making this comments about how he treated his wife and children.
My grandmother hated him. Hated him.
And that was so surprising coming from my mother because she never said anything bad about somebody else.
Speaking of drinking on Christmas,
Dino.
Earlier, the Dean Martin. I've never heard this. I don't really care for Dean Martin either. Speaking of people care for, or bartender friend there and his.
What is
I've never heard this either. This doesn't even have an inner sleeve. I didn't even bother getting an inner sleeve. I've never heard
an
it.
American.
Oh well, I have.
Is he proud to be at its proud time at Christmas time?
One of my friends. Did I tell this story?
Yeah, about your bartender.
One of my
friend.
friends is married to his son. Yeah.
But yeah, Elvis Presley, man, there's the Christmas guy right there. I really like Elvis Presley Christmas albums. This is the original one, and the way this is put together is side one is just the fun Christmas songs, and then side two is all of the religious Christmas songs. So they really separate them like that. And then of course they redo the whole thing and mix it all up and put in. This is the same thing, different cover. And then in the early '70s. This one kind of gets overlooked, but this has got a lot of kind of funky, not funky, but kind of groovy kind of Christmas music on there. You got a Merry Christmas Baby that's really, really nice, over 5 minutes long. But Elvis Presley Christmas albums, I like the way he does it. I do not like the way a lot of people, like Richard said, will put their own little spin. I got to put my own little flavor on. I can't stand the Michael Bublé and that real uptown kind of like, I'm in my long Christmas jacket and I've got my martini. I'm not into that nonsense. And I was talking about that Roger Whittaker. He's on one of these Avon ones, which, like I said, my mom was an Avon lady. These are actually pretty good. Both of these. And you could probably get each of these for $1. Nice. Yeah. Nice. This one, and these are...
This is the best one.
Yeah, this one is better, yeah.
Yeah, it's got Dolly and Kenny on it.
This is the one with, right at the very beginning. That's the first song.
Winter Wonderland Medley.
But this is the one with Roger Whittaker on it. And this is not the kind of bullshit I'm talking about. This motherfucker comes on here and does the... You know how I'm saying people put their own spin on stuff? This idiot does the 12 Days of Christmas and changes the numbers of the... Like, instead of, like, 12 Lords Leaping, 9 Ladies... 10 Lords Leaping, 9 Ladies Dancing, 8 Maids Milking. It's like... 10 Maids of Milking and 9 Pipers Piping. It's like, you don't... Who the hell do you think you are?
Oh, and 12 partridges in a pear tree.
He probably thought there was a copyright.
Roger Whittaker did this?
Yes.
No.
It's like, step back from your ego for Christmas. It's Christmas. It's, it's Christmas, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and the best version of 12 Days of Christmas, hands down, is John Denver with the Muppets. Yep. John, I've got to go upstairs. Yeah,
this is probably my favorite Christmas, single art. Well, it's not a single artist, but non-various artists. This is probably my favorite Christmas album.
I wrote lyrics for the 12 Drinks of Christmas.
But, I've done parodies of. And then mine, do you have a poster?
What about the Mormon Tabernacle Choir? It's Christmas.
I don't have the Mormon Tabernacle
Choir.
Well,
you should probably have the Mormon Tabernacle Choir because, they're my people, and I got to support my people. And
no, you don't.
From the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
No, you don't.
From 1984. And look, there's the tabernacle. So beautiful. I don't know that I've actually ever played this.
I don't think I actually knew what a I don't know what a tabernacle is. I just realized that.
I love that you.
The interior of that tabernacle looked like
so positively in this. I don't know if I ever played this.
I really don't. Maybe I'll do that this year. Well, obviously it's so special. I just noticed there's not even a sleeve in here. So
that's how my Lee Greenwood was. Yeah, I didn't even buy. I picked. It was in a box of records. I guarantee you, I did not go out and buy that separately somewhere.
I don't.
Yeah.
Fucking Lee Greenwood.
The interior of that tabernacle looked like it got painted by somebody who was like so stoned.
That's really good too. The Supremes.
He's so good, and the children's Christmas ding dong, hear the bells.
A lot of the Motown people did those, and they're all great. Yeah. Stevie Wonder's, Jackson 5, they're all very happy, very upbeat.
Fun story. I have a cassette somewhere of Shane and I when we were in high school, and we put on my He's going to kill me for this. We put on my mother's square dancing slips, and we danced in my living room to their version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and him and I were being Diana Ross and the Supremes. It's terrible. Maybe
is their video.
But yeah, Shane threatens my life when I try to show those old home videos that we have, which I
would too.
But
speaking of bastardized Christmas songs, has anybody heard the jazz version? I cannot stand the jazz Christmas stuff either, where they take like Jingle Bells and put their own. I love those JINGLEBELLS. Hey, I don't need to know how to spell Jingle Bells.
Is that like Mel Torme?
It's like Frank Sinatra. Yeah. It's a bunch of people doing that.
Yeah,
it's like spelling Jingle Bells.
They spell out Jingle Bells. But see, I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine about Barbara's version of Jingle Bells, which I think most everybody hates.
I've never heard it.
She at the end she's like jingle bells, jingle bells. I fucking love it. Everybody hates it.
I'm like, I can't stand when people do that stuff.
Also,
it's like Jingle Bells on crack. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Craig's Barbara Streisand imitation, also spot on.
Yes, totally, that's much better than the Amy Mann one.
Yeah, much better. I'm sorry, Robert, but wow, that was.
Have yourself a jazzy little Christmas.
Mel Torme was very famous for doing that. Just like, I'm not a fan.
Does Ella Fitzgerald do Jingle Bells? She has the first song on here. I think she spells it too. Hey, I love those This is very pretentious.
Great album.
She can do it. I had no problem with her doing it. Yeah,
sounds absolutely amazing. It's a great album.
She's awesome.
The plus side of that, though, if you didn't know how to spell Jingle Bells, all you would have to do is listen to that song, and you would now know how to spell Jingle Bells. It's why I know how to spell bananas. Thank you, Gwen Stefani. I didn't know how to spell banana before.
Yeah. This one is Booker T and the MGs with doing the Christmas spirit. And it's instrumental, but it's like got a really nice groove to it, you know.
Yeah, I don't like words to my Christmas music.
And then of course there is Charlie Brown Christmas.
What is the deal with that album specifically? Because it basically has Christmas Time is Here, right?
Right.
And then it has the Linus and Lucy, the Vince Guaraldi theme. Well, what else is on there?
The soundtrack to the, to the cartoon.
Yeah, but I think that's the only. There's only like 3 songs on there, right?
Oh no!
I mean, that record's got to be longer than the TV. I mean, everybody loves that, and it's like.
Are you going to shit on a Charlie Brown Christmas, Robert?
Really?
Oh, absolutely. You know what the funny thing about Charlie Brown Christmas is? This little kid goes and gets all like pompous and gets all self-righteous on your ass, talking about the true meaning of Christmas is Christ and the Lord. The little kid with the blanket talking about. I want to get into the security blanket irony there.
He says that, even now, today, when I listen and watch to it, I weep.
Oh, for God's sakes! So the funny part about that is they spend this whole righteous nonsense about the true meaning of Christmas. Okay, that. Cartoon had to be edited. The unedited version's only been shown like once or twice, and the reason it had to be edited, if you'll notice at the very beginning, there's a really hard edit. You know, right after the title plays.
I haven't watched it in so many years. I just listen to the music.
If you watch it, there's a hard edit after the title, and the reason is they had to cut part of it out because in the original it zooms over to Snoopy by a Coca-Cola machine, and Snoopy's telling you to have a Coke and a smile or whatever the slogan was then for Christmas. So literally, the cartoon that's telling you there's only one true meaning of Christmas, and that's Jesus, had to be, and we need to get rid of all of this commercialization.
Somebody's got to pay the production bills.
We've got to stop all this commercialization of Christmas. Literally had to be edited for the children's broadcast right to take out commercialization. I just think that's hilarious.
This is also a good one. I really like.
No,
it's the Nat King Cole.
Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown is miles better than that.
Well, yes, it's way better. But.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole.
Yeah,
nice. What a wonderful
the Christmas song. Great selection of songs on here. I've got. What the hell is?
Does anybody have the Phil Spector one? I don't have that, but that's like the quintessential.
I don't have that.
60s.
I've heard it. It's really.
I love this one. The Chieftains. this is, again, one of those albums I will put on, like the Jethro Tull album, when I want to kind of reground myself. It's more folk, Irish folk music. And I love this stuff. You got Jackson Browne and Elvis Costello and Marianne Faithfull and Nancy Griffith and Ricky Lee Jones on here, along with Burgess Meredith.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
What's Christmas without Burgess Meredith? All right. So,
they're killing you, Santa. Get in there.
but yeah, I do love this. I listen to these a lot.
Yeah, here's another one that's kind of regained pop. You could find this for 25 cents anywhere. And now I'm seeing it like for $30.
Oh,
I even
Jesus.
made a reference to this in my Christmas, 'Twas the Night Before, or the Vinyl Community Christmas, 'Twas a Vinyl Community Christmas video, where I did a spoof of the Visit from St. Nick poem. Because this used to be a 25-cent album, and now it's like $30, and everybody's like, oh my God, look at my new Gene Autry. It's like, you didn't care about this record 3 years ago, and now it's like a treasured thing.
I'm waiting to see if any of you show what, like, my favorite. I used to have a CD of a Christmas album. I absolutely loved it. I'm waiting until the end when you guys are done.
Okay.
Well, I might not show all of mine.
Oh.
So, I mean,
I was like, is that Jessica Simpson? No, it's not.
This is apparently
Alright,
worth
so-
a lot. I don't know
What the hell is
why. I
that?
guess it's kind of rare. It's Taylor Swift's...
some of these are like
something,
burn
but-
CDs. I mean, I have the Canned Heat Christmas album.
Oh, Richard.
And Sting. If I don't
Sting has a Christmas album?
Pardon me?
I didn't know Sting had a Christmas album.
Yeah.
I didn't know the songs that are on the very special.
And of course, I have Barry Manilow.
Of course.
I love it when Jewish people do Christmas albums. It's my favorite.
Did Bob
I
Dylan
love
just
it
do
when
one?
Jewish people play piano in bathhouses.
He's done one, yeah. I don't think recently.
Yeah,
but
somebody
wow.
did a video on the Bob Dylan Christmas album.
I didn't know he had one either.
He's done one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not recently.
I did know that Doris Day had a Christmas album, though.
Oh, yeah.
Time Life,
Look at that.
Christmas album.
So good.
What a beautiful cover that is, Craig. Look how beautiful she
Jesus,
is.
and the snow. And
That's great. Yeah.
Rock and Roll Christmas. This is what it's all about with Bob Seger, Sock It To Me Santa, George Thorogood. Christmas is the time to say I love you from Billy Squire. Jingle
Yeah.
Bell Rock from
Remember that?
Daryl Hall and John
A lot
Oates.
of those are on those Keith Haring ones, too.
Step Into Christmas from Elton John.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that song.
Oh, my favorite, The Kinks, Father Christmas. That's a great song. Really,
I'd like to
the
hear
real
that.
meaning of Christmas
Yeah.
in that, you know.
Forgot about that.
Did I
Yep.
show this one about the what if Mozart wrote I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus? It's a string quartet performing all these different Christmas songs. And it's really
I wrote
quite
a song
cool.
and performed it on the radio called I Saw Mommy Blowing Santa Claus. And it's all about a inflatable Santa Claus.
It needs an
Oh,
explanation.
clever pun there.
Yes. There's a big pause between the blowing and up.
Oh.
I saw Mommy blowing Santa Claus up under the Christmas tree last night. He was.
I also have a Christmas in Vienna with the Vienna Boys Choir. I love choral music. I love Christmas choral music.
Well, you have like
Here's the
there-
edge of
you know,
Christmas
artists-
with people like the waitresses, Christmas rapping. That's always pretty big. Queen
Oh,
is on
that's-
here. Pat Benatar. David, that's god awful David Bowie and Bing Crosby
It's awful.
drummer
Awful.
thing.
Yeah, that is.
The Paolas are on here. Kate Bush is on here. I didn't know that.
What does she do?
December with the. It's hard to read. December with the something. But yeah.
Oh,
Kate
I
Bush.
love December with the something.
Yeah, December with
So
the something.
Yeah,
The way she
yeah.
moves.
I had something in December.
I have Santa Claus with a gun to his head.
Oh my poor Santa.
Oh, that is such a cool cover. I would love to get that.
Don't
Oh,
do
this is
what's
like
that?
punk rock stuff here,
good.
and none of these people have anyone heard. I think they're only on this album. You know, these bands.
It's a compilation.
Yeah.
It's a great. That's a great cover.
So you
Bummed
have
Out Christmas from Rhino with all the bad Christmas songs about, you know, fuck Christmas from Fear.
Merry Christmas.
All right. So what about Pansy Division's Homo Christmas?
I think that's probably not on there. But yeah,
I don't have
Homo
that one.
Christmas.
I
What
want to
about
be
that?
your Christmas present. I want to be your Christmas queer. Have a happy Christmas this year. It's so good. It's my favorite holiday song.
Speaking of parody songs,
or excuse me, my favorite Holly Gay song.
I don't know what people think of my parody songs I used to do on the radio, but goddamn, I was better than this friggin' guy.
Oh, but I do
Bob
love
Rivers.
I do love Wreck the Malls, though.
Wreck the Malls is okay, but the 12 Pains of Christmas and I Am Santa
so
Claus.
Much money.
I don't remember that. Yeah.
And he's just a radio guy. He's the same thing as I am. He was a radio guy, but he somehow got signed to Atlantic.
So much money.
Like Bob McKenzie and what was
Bob and Doug.
Birthday, Christmas, a beer.
Maybe you want a mystery for Christmas. Scooby's got some exciting Christmas stories.
Wow, I did not know Scooby had Christmas stories.
Yeah.
I need this in my life.
That's about all of mine.
Well, I've got, Chipmunks, but this is from the TV special.
Which TV special?
The Chipmunks Christmas special.
I've got a special thing with the fucking Chipmunks.
Oh no!
And it has to do.
He's going to attack the Chipmunks now.
Yes, I am. All I wanted when I was 9 and 10 years old was the Beatles, because that's what I used to do. I used to get obsessed with bands. It was Kiss, it was the Monkees, and it was Kiss, then it was the Beatles, and I ended up, presents wrapped. Oh my God, it's a record. What's it going to be? The Chipmunks sing the Beatles hits.
I can get that, but
you could fucking give me a Beatles 45. I would have liked it more than that shitty. Well, you could slow it down. It probably sounds just like the Beatles.
Probably not. Yeah.
In 1978, all I wanted was Sgt. Pepper's. I'd heard about this. I had Rubber Soul, and I had Revolver, and I had Help, and all I wanted was Sgt. Pepper. And you guys know what I got.
Yeah, the Bee Gees.
Fucking Bee Gees pile of hot garbage. I'm like, I just looked at my mom. I'm like, I
don't think I ever got a record for Christmas. I gave
It's the only one I've ever asked for. It's the first and the last I ever.
I gave my brother a Grateful Dead record for Christmas one year.
God.
Which one? I don't think I ever got a record for Christmas.
Oh, I used to get records, and that's all I wanted. It's to the point where this used to get said all the time. What do you want for Christmas? Besides records. Yeah, why get me what I want? Who would do that? Besides records. It's like, but then you get the nieces and nephews years later. Oh my God, we got to make sure we get everything on their list. Oh, they mentioned this when they walked by, this $700 thing. Let's make sure we get that. Let's make sure we get this game system and 20 games to go. We got to have 25 games to go along with. I'm like, I was lucky if I got an 8-track. And, these kids are just walking away like, and then they get the presents. They don't even appreciate them. They don't care. They don't even know who they came from. Couldn't give two shits. People spending over $1,000 per kid. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I remember I asked for, and this was probably right after we moved to Chicago. So it was probably like 1980, like it was probably Christmas of 80. And I asked for Wings Over America, the triple live set of Wings on their first tour of America. And my mom, she still holds this. She looked and this is before the internet. She went everywhere looking for this fucking record. It was probably not even in print at the point. But she still bitches about how she went to like every record store in the Chicagoland area looking for Wings Over America. And I had to have the posters, and I had to. And
it just so happened to be the expensive triple record that she couldn't find.
Right, yeah. She had no problem finding
that record was everywhere.
You better just be lucky the Chipmunks never did a Wings album.
In 1980, that album was probably everywhere.
Yeah, that was everywhere. In Chicago?
Yeah, it was everywhere. I was living.
We had a record bar in Fairview Heights that would have had 3 copies of that.
I was living in rural central Michigan, and it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Great album.
Well, I do also would like, because I don't have this, but I have it digitally, but I have to mention the Cocktail Twins when they did Frosty the Snowman and Winter Wonderland. Like, those are just fucking brilliant. And then, of course, when Book of Love did We Three Kings.
Well, I mean, I have it, but there's no Christmas album. But my favorite Christmas song, I was going to say favorite Christmas song, is John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Happy Christmas.
Yeah. This is probably mine too. Yeah.
And should only be sung by them.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I would like to also state Celine Dion should never fucking sing that song.
Oh,
and
no
she
shit.
Or the
I
Without
thought I
You
would
or
die
anything.
when
really.
I heard her version of that. It was like, what?
There are people who have those songs. I mean, Bruce Springsteen took Santa Claus is Coming to Town and made it his own. That's the only time that's worked. That's the only time it's worked in the history of Christmas music. Everybody else, if there's a definitive version of a Christmas song, and then the Pointer Sisters did a good version of his version, but
yeah,
I only want to hear Jingle Bell Rock from Bobby Helms. I only want to hear Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree from Brenda Lee. You know, which, by the way, banned in my house.
You cannot hear Rocky Bound.
We were not allowed to play Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Do you not like Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys?
I was listening to that song
kind of there.
today,
Who does that originally?
And I was like,
nobody. I don't know.
I think that's their song, right?
I think it is their song. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
You know, I Run Rudolph Run. I want to hear Chuck Berry. You know, that's his song. That's not Bryan Adams.
It's fucking Air Supply. Come on now. Air Supply.
So none of you have shown my face. I love Manhattan Transfer's Christmas.
Oh, I don't have that.
It's such a wonderful.
I show the Manhattan Transfer in my Christmas video.
You do.
It's not a very flattering showing, but
no.
Stevie Nicks does a nice job on Silent Night.
Silent Night's traditional, though. I'm talking about people who have, like Brenda Lee Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, where that's her song. And we were not allowed to play that because the the digital version, it's very clear that she's saying later we'll have some pumpkin pie, and she's actually saying pumpkin because she's a little girl. But on the 45, it sounds like she's saying later we'll have some fucking pie. And my ridiculous mother actually thought, I think she just didn't want it played because my brother would start in and singing, you know, she's going to have some fucking pie. She's got some real attitude. What the hell did she get for... Are you going to play that song? She's going to have some fucking pie? It's like, so yeah, we weren't allowed to play Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
I want some fucking pie. Oh my... It's my favorite kind of pie.
We'll have some fucking pie and do some caroling.
Pie.
What are you guys doing for Christmas? We're going to have some fucking pie and do some caroling.
That's right. Fucking A. Tweety.
And Erasure did a Christmas album.
That's what you got to do.
Oh, I've never seen that either. Wow.
Yeah. Snow Globe, Erasure. I was so excited that they were doing a Christmas album until I heard it.
And if you do a Christmas album, it should have Christmas in the title. None of this Garth Brooks Beyond the Season.
Oh, did he have
Christmas album is what you should call that. Yeah, it was called Beyond the Season.
I mean, there's some okay stuff on this, but yeah.
Reach out to the beyond.
Holy. I do like Martina McBride's "Oh Holy Night." I think she does a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, she does.
I think
favorite Christmas songs. Anyone else? We had mine and Mike's.
Well, "Oh Holy Night" is probably my favorite Christmas song ever. Just in general, the song. No, I can't. I mean, actually, on the Very Special Christmas too. This is going to sound weird, but Tevin Campbell's version of it.
Oh, Craig.
I don't know why. There is something about that version. I mean, Mariah's is all right, but Martina does it very well. Carrie Underwood's is pretty good. But I don't know. There was something about his and you gotta think about the time though too. I heard that version obviously when that came out in the 90s. So it just I don't know. There was just something about it. And I like Wilson Phillips' version of Silent Night. Thank you very much.
I like Christmas in Hollis from Run DMC.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Where they find Santa's wallet. That's on the first one.
I think
Holly Jolly Christmas.
Holly Jolly Christmas.
Well, this has got that silly ass Rooey Chewy from the Monkees. It's like, Monkees, really? You're the Monkees. Do Frosty the Snowman. Don't do Rooey Chewy. It's a traditional whatever. You know, come on.
I don't even know.
A couple of my favorite ones are on this one, and is Tracy Chapman's "Oh Holy Night." I love the way she does that
version.
And I love Patti Smith's "We Three Kings."
Oh yeah,
it's just so dark and spooky. But for a traditional song, Well, it's not a traditional song. It's more of a, again, going back to the liturgy cycle and the religious music. Ave Maria is one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's on this particular one here. The person who was singing that song, I'm going to have to look it up here. Valeria Stankina is the one who on this version, and she sounds just absolutely beautiful. There was one more. And then my all-time favorite Christmas song, Judy Garland, "Have Yourself a Very Merry Christmas."
A good one.
A St. Louis Christmas song, because it's from the musical Meet Me in St.
right.
Louis,
That's
and
right.
her version is more melancholy. It has different lyrics than a lot of the people that do that song traditionally.
Ella Fitzgerald does an all-right version of it as well, but Judy Garland's is just, I love that one.
As far as mainstream traditional, I really, I made fun of Andy Williams a couple of times in videos and how his records are everywhere and that needs to stop. But I really do like his "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year."
That's a good one.
And no one else should do that song. That's his song. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I really love Feliz Navidad from Jose Feliciano. Again, no one should do that but him.
No one.
Yeah.
That actually, I'm sorry, that is actually my favorite Christmas song. I can't even believe I did not even. And then also, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Oh, fuck. Come on.
I have memory. I won't share them, but I have memories connecting to that.
I don't, and you know what? I never heard that until I was on country radio. I never heard that growing up at all.
Never.
I must have missed out.
It was one of my best friend's favorite, who's passed. It was one of her favorite songs, and I have just very vivid memories of her singing that. So that's why it's like a connection.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the novel that grandma got run over by a reindeer.
No.
I'm getting nothing for Christmas. Mommy and Daddy are mad.
The grandma got run over by a reindeer. That's another one that it's nostalgic for me, because my mother, we gave her this fucking reindeer for Christmas one year that played that. And she drove, and then when she started lose her mind and started with the Alzheimer's and everything, she'd sit around just fucking push that thing all the time, and then at the end it's like Merry Christmas, and she'd just sit there and go Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. So it's just I have when she was not crazy and crazy, with that song. So it's just kind of it's another thing that it's terrible, but I think of how much joy that brought my mom for some reason. She just loved Grandma Got Run Over.
A special shout out to everybody who has a birthday on Christmas and Christmas Eve. There was this great song called "My Birthday's on Christmas and It Sucks." And it was all about, I'm so tired of here's your birthday / Christmas present,
Right.
If I had a kid and they were born on Christmas or Christmas, I've got a nephew born on Christmas.
I wouldn't tell them.
So do I.
I would be like, yeah, you were born on Christmas Eve, but we're going to always celebrate your birthday on June 25th. Because that's exactly on the opposite side of the year.
Well, for my nephew that was born on Christmas, the morning is Christmas and the evening is his birthday.
Oh.
So
I've got a nephew.
He gets double everything.
Yeah, but he goes all year with
yeah.
You're supposed to have two presents times.
Right, two separate. But then you also look at the people, I have two brothers that have...
to be a proper consumer, you need to have these distributed...
Well, a kid, you don't have your own money. I'm looking back in that, my record collection or whatever.
You're being trained.
That's the only time I got records, unless they were from a yard sale, was Christmas and birthday, And, the Chipmunks and puzzles and...
all your favorite things.
And stockings full of walnuts and pecans.
Oranges.
It's like
moldy oranges.
It's like, you better be lucky you got anything. I'm sorry.
Batteries.
Nothing is better than disappointment, so I would have rather literally had nothing. That's what my sister said with the puzzle. Well, I could have got you nothing. It's like, that would have... How do you not understand that would have been better than being set up for disappointment? Yeah, this happened when I was 8. I'm still very upset.
We need to.
I have a teddy bear over there that I've had for like 30-something, 35-something, 40 years. That my sister convinced me that she got me a CD player for Christmas. And so I was like, okay, she got me a Discman, right? Like that's what we're like. And I was like, okay, this is my present from my sister. And it's this like box that it could have been a CD player in it, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm opening my sister. I fucking opened this box that she has convinced me for months that she's got me a CD player for. Fucking open this box, and it's a fucking teddy bear. And I was like 16. I'm like, and she's like, what did you get? Is it a CD player? And I'm like, it's fucking Broccoli. So the damn bear's name is Broccoli because I was like, yeah, it's Broccoli. It's like, you made me think I was getting a CD player. You gave me a goddamn teddy bear.
Okay, well, that's, I think the Christmas talk's wound up.
Yeah, we just did 40 minutes on Christmas talk.
Oh, my God.
Mikey.
Mentioned Tracy Chapman did a Christmas song of Richard's favorite, and now it's time to review Richard's pick for our album review, which is Tracy Chapman's debut release. Oh wow, we all have mine's smaller again.
Yeah,
everybody's is bigger than mine.
Well, yes.
Mine fits neatly in my hand.
Is that one of those mini discs?
Everybody else takes 2 hands. No, it's a CD, but I don't show the jewel case because it just reflects the light.
Reflects.
So who's first? I can go first. I rarely go first.
Okay, go first.
Yeah, why don't you go first?
I like it.
Even though I've been talking the whole time, I can continue to do that.
Do it.
Okay, so Tracy Chapman, this came out in 1988. This is her debut. It's not an album that's full of wonderful musical landscapes. She does not have a voice that's of a, an opera singer, or doesn't do these vocal acrobatics that makes you go, whoa, a girl can sing, that kind of thing. Tracy Chapman is a poet. And so this is one of those albums that, another one, like I'd said before about a couple other ones, it demands your attention. If it's all about the lyrics for me. If you're not going to pay attention to the lyrics, there's kind of little point to it. It's not the kind of album that you throw on at a party, even though I know people that would do that.
Yeah.
Ever go to parties where it's some person and they got the... It's like, what is this? This is not a party. Anyway, it's not something it's not a road trip album. It's not an album you listen to while you got the NASCAR race on turned down. It's an album that you really, become absorbed in. So
I don't know. You could be watching Fast Cars.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
You're on fire tonight, Richard.
Yeah, keep him away from the Christmas tree. Flammable presents.
It's the martini.
Oh man, this is written too small again. So yeah, this is an album that demands your full attention. It starts off with talking about a revolution. It's mostly an acoustic album. She plays the acoustic guitar, so she's not only a poet, she's also a musician. It's the first song kind of, you figure that the album can go one direction or the other. It can either be one of those kind of pretentious, not really pretentious, but more trite kind of, peace, love, and, whatever. We're talking about a revolution and everything's going to change. The tables are turning and, we of course know the tables will turn back again, and then they'll turn back again, and then they'll turn back again because it's 1988. It's been a while. So that one's just kind of there for me. Fast Car is the big hit single, of course. That's next. And that is, a song that I'm sure everybody's heard, but it really does need to be listened to in the context of this album. When that song comes on the radio, it's a turnoff for most people. You got some big hits of the 80s weekend where you're going to hear The Safety Dance and, Blondie, Call Me, and Europe, The Final Countdown, and Tracy Chapman, Fast Car comes on. Most people will turn that off. That's not my opinion. That's literally Media Monitor's research. People, that's a tune-out song. But on this album, it makes sense. It really comes to life when you listen to it in its proper, kind of arena. And of course, we all know what the song's about. It's about, trying to break away from poverty, trying to be somebody, trying to just take a fast car and get away from everything. Fast car, slow song, as we've said before. Across the Lines, similar to the events of 35 years later, you know, same thing going on all the time. It's kind of a timeless album, really. And that's another thing about the sound of this album. This could be an album from 1988. This could be an album from 1975. This could be an album from 1997. This could be an album from 2006. I mean, it really does not have a lot of flourishes from the time. It's got a very timeless quality. Beyond the Wall is very sparse. I think this is the one where there is no instruments. It's just her singing, which is kind of like, okay, come on now. I remember when I first got this. I think I got this about a year after it was out, or maybe a few months, because I know I got it used. And that was the point I remember going, really, let's put some melody in it. You're not, you know, come on. You don't need a whole a cappella. But anyway, I think it's about a domestic disturbance where the husband's beating up on the wife and the police come and don't do anything, which I think right after that was released. Not because it was released, but right after that they changed the laws to where if you have a domestic disturbance and the police show up, they can't leave. Somebody's going to jail. So just know that. They can't. They've got to fill out a report. That's the law. They can't just leave anymore. So you know, some things changed. "Baby, Can I Hold You" is it's kind of an out of place song for me. I think it was maybe an attempt to have another hit single. It's just kind of a love song. Definitely a skip over track for me. Like probably my least favorite song on the album. "Mountain of Things" is an interesting to hear for a vinyl community channel because it's all about the overpriced, you know, material stuff that you don't need, and you could just. How much did we all pay for these vinyl records? Because I looked on Discogs, and they're like $50-$60 for this. So this is my $2 CD. So
This is my $2 record.
Thank you.
Are you kidding?
I'm very comfortable for this.
This record goes for $50.
Yeah, it's a direct metal mastering. That's what probably.
It took so long to find mine too.
Wow.
Yeah. And by the way, this CD is one of those that boast about it being a full digital recording. Remember when that was the thing that, you know, was supposed to be a positive thing? But yeah, I just thought that was kind of ironic to hear that while you're listening to, you know, a $50 record, to hear about, you know, you don't need all these expensive material things. She's got her ticket. She's leaving. She's getting out. Where exactly is she going, though? I would like to know where she go. How is she just leaving? How do you just leave, you know, something that's going on all over the world and all over the U.S.? So that's kind of a different thing. A song called "Why," sort of a reductionist thing. Why do babies starve? Why is the world the way it is? It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of beneath her at this point in the album to come up with something so basic. But yeah, it's a timeless album for you. Another love song wraps it up. So for me, let's see, what did I put here? Some of these songs would, you know, be kind of trite in the wrong hands. But Tracy Chapman has this style and this voice where she really makes them sound sincere. You really believe that she believes what she's singing and she's not performing. She sounds very heartfelt. It's a very human album too. I love the fact that it's humans playing instruments. There's like, it's from 1988. There's no drum loops. There's no record scratching. There's no sound effects, and it's not like a current album where there's this deep bass thing going on and all this kind of stuff. It's a really human, heartfelt album, and I think that's great. I love albums like that. She sounds real, I guess is the way I would put it. She sounds real. She's not like what you would hear a lot later on in the 90s, like some Lauryn Hill bullshit, where, you know, she's going to tell you how real she is. Instead of just being real, you get to hear how I'm real. I'm so real. Well, then just be real. Some people would put like Lauryn Hill and Tracy Chapman in the same kind of camp or box or whatever. I think they're worlds apart. Tracy Chapman sounds totally authentic to me. Overall, you know, there's a couple of spots, like I said, the love songs I could do without, but and the a cappella one kind of comes off as a little bit, you know, pretentious. But other than that, I really enjoyed this. I haven't listened to it before this in like probably 20 years. Wow. If you don't like Fast Car, give it a chance. Listen to Fast Car the way it's meant to be heard, not in the middle of a bunch of, you know, Rick Springfield or whatever. And I will give Tracy Chapman's debut 4 rainbows. Next.
I'll go.
Please.
I'll go. This album changed my. It didn't. I just want like I think Robert's expecting that on every single thing we talk about, that it changed my life. So, um, I mean, I remember very vividly the very first time I heard Fast Car. We didn't have MTV like until probably like 91 or 2 in my area. So it had been around for a minute. But whenever I went to my granddad's, they had MTV, and that's when I would watch MTV. And I remember seeing this video and remember thinking, wow, she's unlike any musician I've ever seen. She's not traditionally beautiful. She's beautiful, but she wasn't, this, m- supermodel. And she had, little spiky hair and little mini dreads and all of that. And it was something I hadn't experienced. And then that song just kind of I can't describe what it made me feel at that time. And so I got the album as soon as I could. I got the cassette tape. I think I might have even shoplifted it. But that's a whole nother story.
Is it?
But,
there is a statute of limitations for that.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I'm not in trouble now. I was a teenager, so there you have it. It's a solid record, and timeless is a great thing that Robert said. Like it's timeless. It's as effective now as it was in 1988 or any years after that. I love the opening track. I love the whole like a whisper. And of course, Fast Car, Across the Line. I mean, there's just the heavy stuff that she talks about on this record, and she does it in a way that, like he said, we believe her. And we want to know more, and we're interested in what you have to say. And I definitely agree that this is an album that you need to experience in its entirety. I love Baby Can I Hold You. I know that was one of the weak ones for Mr. Fithin, but Mountain of Things, she's got her tickets. I mean, Why Did the Baby Starve? There's a new, enough food to feed the world. It's a very important album to me. And I actually prefer the second side over the first side. I mean, I love the entire record, but it really hits me once you get to that second side. And they blend so well. Mountain of Things, she's got her tickets. Why? For My Lover, 2 weeks in a Virginia jail. That bitch. If Not Now is just so just hauntingly beautiful, and then I just think For You is the perfect closer for this record. So I love Tracy. I've seen her once on the very first Lilith Fair, and so that was a great night for me because I saw Suzanne Vega, Sarah McLachlan, and Tracy Chapman all in the same night, and so that was like I was kid in a candy store. It's Christmas. So I will finish, but I love this record. I love Tracy Chapman. I think she's needed. She hasn't done a record, I think, in probably like almost 10 years, if not longer. And the rest of her catalog also needs to be released on vinyl because she has a really great catalog. I own all of them. I only own 2 of the records because only 2. Well, the third one is available in Brazil. But anyways, I digress. I am going to give Miss Tracy Chapman 4.5 rainbows.
Wow, I got to follow up these 2 reviews. I love this record. When this came out, I played it. This is a really good example because you guys, I talk about how I'm an album person. I listen to albums. I don't listen to songs. I never bought 45s. I don't make playlists or shuffle my collection or anything. I put the needle on the first song and I listen to it all the way through the side or all the way through the album. And this is a perfect example of an album that needs to be listened to just all the way through. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartfelt. It's such a wonderful record. And I think she won Best New Artist. I think she won a Grammy for Best.
She won a Grammy. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Best New Artist or if it was Best Album. It was one of the 2. But she was everywhere. You couldn't go anywhere and not hear Fast Car back then. And I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful record. It's not my favorite Tracy Chapman record. I like Telling Stories better. Maybe because it was. Maybe because it wasn't as popular, I guess. Maybe that's why. And it wasn't overplayed, because this record, I mean, there's probably 4 songs on here that were on the radio every day. 3 or 4 songs. And anyway, so Talking About a Revolution is my favorite song on the record. I absolutely love it. A++. It's my favorite song. Fast Car, we get it. I mean, we've heard it, how many times have we heard Fast Car? And like Robert said, it's probably the song that people turn off. I enjoy it. I have not listened to this record all the way through, and it's probably been 10 years. But man, when I was a kid, I used to listen to this constantly. So it was really good to hear it all, brought up again, and, get that vibe of, 88? 88. So Fast Car, yeah. Across the Lines, A+. Great song. I love that song. Behind the Wall, or Beyond the Wall. I love that. I love her a cappella singing. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite songs on the record. It's just powerful, the way she sings it, and the way I adore that song. Baby Can You Hold Me, or Baby Can I Hold It? It's one of those songs also I've heard way too much, because it was pretty popular when the record came out. It's not my favorite song on the record. Would I lift up the needle? And no. Mountain of Things, I love it. Why? I love Why. A+. For My Lover, another song that it got a lot of airplay, back when it came out, and I think it holds up. It's a great song. If Not Now, it's a good song. It's not my favorite song on the record. I mean, I do enjoy it. For You, perfect. Perfect. This is such a great record, and it was so good to revisit it, because it's been a very, very long time. And like Craig said, she's got a lot to say, and she needs to get back and say it. Yeah, she's a wonderful artist. Her first 3 records, I think, was it New Beginning came after this, and then maybe Telling Stories, or
Crossroad.
Crossroads, then Matters of the Heart, then New Beginning,
and then Telling Stories,
and then Telling Stories. Let It
God,
Rain.
I love that album. The song. It's called The Wedding Song. That's on Telling Stories.
Beautiful.
Just stunning, absolutely stunning. Just a poet, an absolute poet, and she's amazing. And I will give this 4.5 stars. And thank you for picking this, because it's been way too long since I've listened to it.
And real quick, before Richard tells us, she won Best New Artist, Female Pop Vocal Performance for Fast Car, and Contemporary Folk Album. So she won 3 Grammys that year.
Yeah, well deserved. I'd love to know who the competition was. They didn't have a chance.
Usually the Grammys pick Best New Artist. They get it completely wrong. You can go throughout the history, and, it's people that had the one hit. Taste of Honey with Boogie Oogie Oogie, I think, got Best New Artist one year. It's like, that's not even an artist. That's just a silly dance song. That's not even artistry. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Richard. That's wonderful.
Yeah, you guys touched on, a lot of things that I would, want to repeat, such as Robert bringing up the idea of some of these, some of the subject matter of the songs is not all that deep, but it's still very meaningful, and she provides this whole vibe and atmosphere and emotion to very mundane things, to, I think, in a way, really bring them out as that they are important in a very universal way. I do like the talking about revolution, especially with Whisper. When you were saying that in the the last episode, I had to chuckle at that. We're still waiting for that revolution, to happen, because, but at the same time, it still feels like, it's still poignant. Interestingly, that song was a much bigger hit in Europe than it was here in the U.S. And I kind of think because it's just a difference in, you know, North American culture and European culture. We tend to be a lot more individualistic. So we're not necessarily going to be whispering to each other while we're standing in the welfare line. You know, we're kind of brought up in a way that, you know, we mind our own business, and we actually see it as an affront when somebody intrudes into our space. And I have a sense that that's, you know, a little bit different because everybody has to live so closely together, you know, over in Europe. So because that song was a really major hit. Fast Car, you're right. Playing this on the radio, you know, or at a party, it's just, it ain't the, you know, it ain't the song to be playing in those kinds of situations. And what I really love about the song is that, all right, so she's singing, and I also like the way how she sings to these other people, but she never really identifies them by sex. And this might have, you know, 1988, there was still a lot of homophobia going on. But at the same time, by singing, I love songs in which the pronouns are ambiguous because it makes the song more universal, you know, and just anybody can relate to it. And that's another thing I really feel coming out of her. But what I like about Fast Car is there's this dream, let's get out of town. And they got out of town, but the dream never materialized. It was the same old shit. But, you know, they did something. They got in a fast car, you know, and took off. But then, you know, it was, you know, no matter where you go, there you are. Across the Lines is one of those songs that kind of starts off a little trite in that. But again, she brings and builds up everything that I forget that. I am drawn into the song. And, you know, we all know the history and everything, but it's just, again, you know, stating very clearly. I like Behind the Wall. It's chilling.
Yeah.
I have lived in circumstances where shit like that was going on the other side of the wall. Mm-hmm. And it's like she says, you know, why bother call the police? You know, you know, when they show up, they don't do anything. The other thing, at least from my experience, is the police, when they do come, tend to fuck things up even worse. And so, you know, what's his name? Baldwin wrote a lot about that. I can't even think of his name. Anyway, Baby, Can I Hold You? That's a tricky song to me. You can take it both ways. That, you know, she's talking about, you know, you can't say I'm sorry or can't say I love you, but can you at least say, baby, can I hold you? Is she saying it trying to entice this other person to respond that way? Or is she saying, you can't say all these things, but you can say, baby, can I hold you? You know, is she reading him or her or whomever? You know, so you can take it both ways with that song. I found that just really kind of fascinating. Mountain of Things, God, very existential, you know, which, I mean, it's like, and that is everything around us. That's, you know, how things work. We all, you know, like she's pointing out, you know, we ain't ever going to have these things that we keep dreaming about that, you know, commercialism tells us we should have, but we keep dreaming about them and wishing for them. Yeah, Robert, she's got her ticket. It is. Yeah, where's she going? Where's she going?
Over yonder.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I think it's hate. It's just, you know, kind of like in Harry Potter, you know, where what is it? The Prisoner of Azkaban. You know, he's gonna take off and leave the house. You know, after that bitch of a woman he inflates and she floats away. And Dursley tells him, you've got no place to go. And he's like, I don't care. Anywhere is better than here. You know, and I kind of feel like, you know, that's what's going on. And she's got her ticket. She's just fucking taken off.
You don't know where she's going.
Yeah. Why? Was that one of the songs? No, Why is still a real good one. But For My Lover, I love the way she does that. You, at the end of those verses. It's just, again, so great. But I got the question, who's in jail? Is she singing that she's the one in jail, or is she the one who's posting the $20,000 bond? Regardless, people think she's nuts for what she's doing. And then, her response is, well, I ain't in love with you. It's just so simple, so great. And If Not Now, again, it's one of those songs that's kind of a real simplistic meaning, but she pulls it off in such a way that just sucks you in, draws you in, and brings you into the feeling of that song. It's like you can't walk away from that song and not have been moved into some position, and then what are you going to do? And then for you, the closer, it's such a simple love song. It's just, it's sincere. Again, the minimalist presentation, mountain of things. What do you call those things that, there's like finger vibrating vibraphone kind of things, the minimalist of the instrumentation in that song is so excellent as a counter to the theme of the song about, obsessive collecting of things and of status symbols or whatever, and then this very minimalistic music. So yeah, I really love this album. It took me a long time to find it. I didn't pay $50 for it, but for my used copy, when I finally did find one, I think I probably paid $25 for it. It just took me a long time because they were expensive ones out there. They weren't always in great shape. I didn't buy one when it first came out, but I just remember those songs. They moved me then. They moved me now. It's, great album. 5 Rainbows.
Yeah, she's an amazing poet. And like Robert said, this album could have been made 2 or 3 years ago. It holds up. It sounds fresh. And a lot of people probably watching are going, how does Tracy Chapman sound fresh? She really does. It really does. It's
none of it sounds.
It's in the words. It's in the style. It's in the heart. And you listen to this record, and it just grips you. It really does. But yet, what you said, I think we all said, it's all kind of. It's not complicated. It's not deep. It's not. But the way she expresses herself and just gives it all, it's just perfection. It really is.
And the music too. You don't have any kind of 80s kind of ethos going on with the way that an acoustic guitar sounds. Like they keep changing the way an acoustic guitar sounds or it's being produced. Here's the hip way to do it in the 90s. Here's how it, in the early 2000s especially, it seems like acoustic guitars, they took all the bass out and made it sound very jangly and whatever. And there's just everything just sounds so natural.
That's with the song Behind the Wall, the a cappella. I mean, I could visualize her on a small stage in a theater, sort of like acting this out while, singing it a cappella.
I can visualize her sitting on a park bench somewhere singing it. And that's what I love about that song. It's like, that's a song like you could be walking through, Grant Park down here in Chicago and like some woman just sitting there singing away, like, and just awesome. Just a wonderful record.
And it got 18 rainbows.
18 rainbows for Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I forgot the record in the other room, so I'm going to have to go get that now.
Good.
For our next one.
You can edit.
We'll talk about you when you're gone. And and she's such an amazing artist too. And she has. So
I don't have any of her
records.
other records. This is
telling stories is my personal favorite. Yeah. But I forgot about Crossroads. Crossroads is also really good. So yeah, and she kind of came on that cusp of vinyl CD like switch over. Right. So I don't know. I mean, I'm shocked this record is $50. I mean, this is my copy from high school.
Well,
I've had this forever.
it's one of those situations where there were not a lot of repressings done.
Yeah.
And especially not since then. I mean, you have to find OGs. You know, if you're gonna get this record, that's what I ran into. And so I was lucky to find.
My guess is a lot
really great copy for like $20-25.
Yeah.
So I think the next one, a nice segue from Tracy Chapman, might be Minnie Riperton. Can you believe that? Let's listen to Minnie Riperton's "Perfect Angel" from 1975, and yes, it is the one with "Loving You Is Easy Because You're Beautiful" on it.
Beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is she the one who did that?
Yes, she
is.
La 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 la. My whole point with this is I'm trying to get people to understand that she is more than that song. Because that song has bird sound effects in it. That song gets used as comedy pretty much because she has that the F sharp 6 note that she does in there, and
super triple contralto voice or something like that.
And yeah, she's got a lot more going on than that. So Minnie Riperton's "Perfect Angel," our next album review. So we do have a contest going on, and does anybody want to explain how the contest works?
Sure.
No.
Do it.
The contest.
We'll roll it on some text.
There's like three ways you could do this. It's a three-way contest. So one is to pick a record for each one of us that you think we would like and tell us about it. Or you can pick one record for each of us that you don't think we like probably at all and tell us about it. Or you could do both together and tell us, show us a record you think we would like and one we don't like for each one of us. So you can show 4 records or you can show 8 records.
And you also don't have to show you don't have to own the album or the CD or whatever. You can just talk about it or whatever. So it's not limited to your collection. And you win a $40 Amazon gift card. We're just going to draw a random name. It's not about picking the person that nailed it the closest or whatever. It's going to be just a random drawing. So $40 Amazon gift card is the prize. You have until January something at noon.
We have a few entries already.
Yes, we do.
And we have some really good entries.
Is it 15th? Is that what we were doing? January 15th.
Yes.
2023. At noon.
Yeah, we have some great entries so far. Really well done.
Yeah, but yeah, that $40 Amazon gift card, make a video, and let us know that you've done it too in the comments of any of our more recent videos. You can even do it in the comments of this video. After, we have a new contest. We also have a new feature called Tops and Bottoms. Based on Richard does this too. Richard tops and bottoms on his live streams.
Comma on his live streams.
I don't think the comma, Matt, is better than a colon, I guess.
Right.
But anyway, yes, the tops and bottoms from a particular year. It could be our top singles. It could be top and bottom live concerts, albums. It could be album artwork. It could be whatever. And we're each individually choosing our different ones, so it's not even going to be consistent with each of us each time. But we're going to pick a year out of a hat, and Craig has the years. What year are we going to kick this off with? And I just want to say, I suggested we did 20th century. These people here said we should go all the way up to like 2020 or something. So
we're
back to like the
1950s.
I've got to get educated. I've got a job to do, probably.
That's what it's here for. It's to educate all of us.
Yes.
So we thought from 1950 to 2022.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at Craig's little Easter basket.
My mother crocheted this.
It's cute.
Do you also have a tisket and a tasket? Or I guess that's not actually green and yellow.
That would be, yes, I was going to say.
All right.
I was going to say brown and yellow for some reason, but anyway.
So the first year that we're doing is 2005.
Of course it is.
You're welcome.
2005.
Okay. I noticed when Richard did his top and bottom video, when he got into the 2000s, it used to be every year. And in the 2000s, it was like, hell with it. Okay, 2000 to 2005.
We went 5 years at a time.
God, 2005. That screams Black Eyed Peas, doesn't it?
Oh wow, yeah. I think that's the top. Would that be your tops or bottoms?
That would be. I couldn't even name a song by them.
When they came out with that, and I'm only quoting them, that "Let's Get Retarded," that was completely uncalled for. That's what "Let's Get It started off being. And they start out. That's why they start off the song by saying, "In this context, there's no disrespect." It's like you can't just say that and then be like, "Oh, yo, no, fuck you, bitch. Hey, no disrespect." You know, it doesn't work that way.
Nope.
So ever since right then and there, I was done with the Black Eyed Peas. And then they come out with "Where Is the Love?" It's like, I don't know, where is it?
Sure wasn't in that other song.
It's like "Snap Your Head Like You've Got Epilepsy" or something like that was in the lyrics. It's like, you guys are just the worst. What the fuck?
I'm not a fan, so
yeah,
this will be fun next week.
But you're right though; they were all. We go out to the club and it would be like 3 songs a night.
Oh yeah.
I Got a Feeling was the big one. You know. Yeah. I got a feeling tonight's going to be a good night. Yeah, as soon as the song's
I'm sure I've got a couple of
it'll be
CD
great.
singles over there.
And they put that Black Box on. That'll be a good night. What's that? Here You Come Again or whatever. Oh man, what is that called? Right on Time. You're right on time.
Oh yeah, right on time.
But I can't remember what song from Black Box.
Right on.
Everybody.
So we'll be reviewing 2005 next time around. Our tops and bottoms. We'll be reviewing the Minnie Riperton Perfect Angel album featuring "Loving You." Maya Rudolph's mother, by the way, in case people didn't know that. And all kinds of fun, too. We'll be talking about music books, the best books of, that involve music. So that's all coming up on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, we are the Vinyl Community Guncles. Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes, everyone
Merry
have a great
Christmas
holiday.
season greetings. Happy Hanukkah.
Holidays.
And Festivus for the rest of us. I'm Robert Fitton, along with...
Richard Kelvin Wazoo.
Craig's Vinyl Plethora.
Mike at Hubtunes.
Thank you again so much for watching.
Yep.
Yay.